Bitcoin's pullback from 103K was not a surprise to us at all, right? We saw this coming, but the drop it has went further than my target, which is around 97K-ish. Right now we're at about 94K area. Does this invalidate that blue fractal that I've been planning out? What happens to altcoins from here? Let's have a close look. This is going to be an important episode because a lot of things have changed with the latest market action on Bitcoin. Okay, let's go through it, folks. The one plus out of all the negatives is that it held this 94.8K level. And this blue line is this big yellow range that I have drawn out. This big range is very important for Bitcoin not to get back into. And this is the reason why I called for 94K Bitcoin when it was back in the 50s. I made like about 20 videos, Discord messages and tweets saying it's going to 94K, it's going to 94K. That's where we're at right now, 94K, because that's that blue line right here. So it's important that it keeps on bouncing off that blue line rather than coming back in. The reason why I'm saying a lot of big changes have happened is have a look at this. The blue fractal was pulled from mid-2021, and this is what it looks like. So that is why when Bitcoin was around here, I said, okay, we're going to have a dip to about 91, 92K. That's where it got to. And I'm expecting a bounce up to 103, 104K. It got to 102.7. So almost 103K. So the pullback will come to about 97K. So far, it worked out on the way up and hit resistance and then came back down. But the pullback went a little bit further, like 2 or 3K further than I would like it to be. I'm willing to say that this blue fractal has been invalidated. I'll give you guys the honest truth. If it works, right? And it worked, right? When everyone thought Bitcoin was going to break down from this shoulder, head, shoulder, and go to 75, 80K, I was worried about it as well. But I was 50-50, as I said. But I was looking for something to make me not 50-50, to make me lean one way. Give me an edge. In trading, nothing's 100%. Give me an edge like 70-30, 80-20, 75% versus 25% to lean strongly towards one way. Right now, I'm thinking this blue fractal is invalidated unless we do a super quick bounce back to somewhere like 98K in the next 24 hours. So right now, you know, when it's working, I tell you it's working, and it worked great for us. And when it's invalidated, I'll tell you guys it's invalidated. It worked great for us because it told us to bounce here and it told us where it was going to pull back. So now the question is, what happens next to Bitcoin if this blue fractal is looking like it's broken for now? Then we turn to the orange fractal, anticipating we're going to get some wild swings here. Now the thing is, you might say, oh, you know, you have this blue fractal and this orange fractal. Oh yeah, choose one. Why don't you be... Well, buddy, both fractals are actually pointing us to a bounce to the 112K area, 111, 112K area, right? I'm not saying it'll go down. None of these fractals pointed to Bitcoin going down. It's just that they get there, right, at a different pace. The blue fractal basically says we get up there and we do 2 double tops and then we go down hard. The orange fractal says we go up, we swing down a little bit to 100K, bounce of 100K, swing up to 114, 115K, and then come down, da-da-da. The reason why I use this orange fractal is because orange fractal is essentially playing out Bitcoin during the first market top of 2021. We see Bitcoin going from like what, 45K to 57K, then down to 45K, then up to 61K, down to 50, up to 64, and then down to 47, up to 59. You might not think these are big swings because right now Bitcoin's at 100K, so a 15K swing is not a lot. But look at this. In percentage terms, this was a massive swing. Look at this. This was 64K, and this is 47K. So that's 16K swing in between. That's like a 25% swing. Yeah, that's like a 25% swing. That'll be like equivalent of Bitcoin going from 108K to 80K. From 108K to 80K. That's the kind of how big the swings we're talking about. That's like a 25, 27% swing. So these swings are absolutely huge. But the question is, when these swings are happening, then what happens to altcoins? I'll get onto the altcoins in a second, but that's a review what Pablo has been saying for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. First, When Bitcoin was in the 50s, Pablo said it's heading to 94K, right? I said that about 30, 50 times on social media and in my Discord. And by the way, videos like this, these longer videos, go to my Discord about a day or sometimes half a day before I put it out publicly. And then Bitcoin went to 94K, right? At the top of that range. And then everyone was celebrating, saying it's 100K next. And everyone was cheering, saying 150K, 130K, 180K, 250K. Pablo was the only one who said no. 100K will be really, really difficult to break. It would take weeks, many weeks, even months to break it. And now we're up to 2 months and we're still back at 94K, right? It would take months to confirm above 100K. And in fact, I said to my Discord privately, I'm not confident it would confirm above 100K, right? So right now we're back at 94K. Once again, never really confirmed above 100K. It was a fake out. When I got to 90 to 91K, I said, we're going to have a big bounce here to 101K. And that's what happened. What we need to be aware of is about 2-3 weeks ago, if you've been watching my long videos, if you've been reading my messages on Twitter and watching my videos, I kept on saying the bullish momentum in Bitcoin and Ethereum has been stopped. So we need to play more defense than offense. We need to play at least 50%, at least 50% defense. What does that mean? That means we buy when it pulls back to support level. It may not be for altcoins, may not be just the first support level, could even be the second support level, because that's how deep the pullbacks could be if we get a drop to low 80s or even the 70s for Bitcoin. That could happen. Have some stink bids, right? The worst thing you could do is that order is not filled. But if it does get filled and it bounces, then you're instantly in a lot of profit. Now you know. That's why Pablo was making these warnings. Now, let's have a look at what happens to the altcoins. Why do I use Total 3? Because Ethereum's not performing well right now, and Total 3 is basically all the altcoins, all the major altcoins, the top 150 altcoins without Ethereum. Bitcoin basically went from 48K to 64K, and then still back to 48K, 50s, 3 months later, between Feb and May, and then the big crash. I'm saying if these swings stay between, say, 90K to 115K, if Bitcoin can stay in this range, even if it's making wild swings sideways, not really moving, in those 3 months, we can still get a huge altcoin run. Look at this. So altcoins in mid-Feb is around 370 billion, and by the height, it got to 880 billion. That's 2.5x run on the big altcoins. Unlike Doge, unlike Solana, Cardano, Phantom. And then imagine how mint caps and small caps and those tiny altcoins can run. They could do potentially like 5x, 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x, even on the small ones. And I chose this is Total 3. This is not Total 2 because it does not include Ethereum, because Ethereum isn't looking that strong right now. So that's the hopium part. That's the hopium of saying if Bitcoin doesn't crash to 80s or 70s, if Bitcoin just keeps on swinging, not even making any new highs, not even going to 120K, 130K, it doesn't need to, then altcoins can still have this big run, right? That's the hopium I'm offering you guys. Now the picture's becoming murky again. But if new information comes along, if I see whales buying, if I get new information and things change, you'll be the first to know.